Cool, Deluded, I'm back again. Hope you're all doing well and safe. Now over the weekends, you know me, I'm on AFTV when I can be, and I'm obviously bringing out videos in relation to Arsenal. During the week, I'm still doing the same thing, but like everyone, 9 to 5, need to earn money and pay bills. Unfortunately, I don't do YouTube full-time or work in football full-time, but that's a dream. Soho Square. Now some of you have actually even caught me at Soho Square. I'm turning it into a tourist attraction more so than it is already. I might need to start charging to come here now, I'm guessing. On a serious note though, here to speak about some Arsenal stuff yet again. There's not much to speak about, but I love speaking to you guys. The first one is Matteo Guendouzi. Now, I wouldn't say it's a shock that he wasn't necessarily in the matchday squad or the starting 11 because, you know, Ziyech has been playing better than him. Torreira's been playing better than him. Ozil's been integrated back into the side and plays a slightly different midfield role. Obviously, Joe is more or less a squad rotation option. And Guendouzi has someone that's at previous, not under Arteta, but you know, he's been one of the first names on the team sheet through good form. And obviously, he's not been in good form, so he doesn't deserve to start. Saying that, when he wasn't in the matchday squad in general, I was a bit surprised. Not really surprised because, I mean, I guess it's a knock-on effect. We've got a lot of midfielders. Somebody has to miss out. It's a squad game. The way he used Ceballos with Xhaka, obviously Torreira was on the bench. Torreira is that sort of midfielder and the next in command. Can kind of see why he's not in the squad really, but he should have. It did raise an eyebrow in sorts. Obviously it probably got lost with a whole lot of other talking points, both after the game, after everybody scoring and assists and playing well. Obviously some of the decisions Arteta made raised a few eyebrows, but were all backed up. Guendouzi wasn't in the matchday squad. You're hearing that's because of a bust-up more or less in Dubai and question marks over his attitude. I'll go over what I've got copied and pasted, but the summary and the short of it is he's alleged to have got into some sort of argument with Arteta and coaching staff, and it's continued. And obviously in line with discipline, in line with Arteta, you know, getting the players on side and buying into him. He can't let things slide, much less from an inexperienced man like Guendouzi. If you're not accepting it from senior pros, again, you're not accepting it. I'm not saying Mustafi's got a bad attitude, but if Mustafi, a World Cup winner, can't carry on with that, then Guendouzi can't. And you lot know me, I'm always defending Guendouzi. I'm a big Matteo Guendouzi fan. I'm the chairman of the Guendouzi fan club. I think he's got a big future in football and Arsenal. I'm not here to talk about a man being world class and all these things, but I think he can be a good player for Arsenal and whatever club if he was to leave. And also he can get a couple France caps if he works hard. You've heard a lot of his teammates say, but you need to work hard. And obviously, he's done good things since he's come to Arsenal. He's been an inexperienced man playing in Lorient League 2, and he's taken to it. He's shown a lot of fight, a lot of desire, a lot of commitment, a lot of consistency than a lot of players that have been here over the time period. Do you get it? So he's shown that he can stand up to be counted. On the football field, there's a lot to work with. His attitude, this is the first time I'm seeing it display question marked really and truly. But you do know he's a bit rough around the edges, but this is the only one. I'm a big Guendouzi fan, but if it is true, and I'll give him credit, benefit of the doubt, I don't know if it's true, and it's the first I'm hearing of these sort of things and questioning your professionalism, so I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. But if it is true, then you need to rein it in. You need to rein it in, because you're a good player. I'm Guendouzi FC, but by that same logic, you're out the team now. There's talk of signing another midfielder. Yes, I believe we should give you a new contract and tie you down, but we need more. We need about 2 midfielders. We signed you for a relatively small fee. You could be someone in an ideal world we sell for 20, 30k, that'll be a bump, 20, 30 mil, and we reinvest that elsewhere. Of course, if you develop to the player we think you can be, that will be an L, because I think he could be a £50 million player one day. But we could use and reintroduce the fund somewhere else, and it'll be a nice little profit for the club, considering he's been here for a couple of years. So be easy. I'm not going to say his future's in the balance, because I don't know the extent of the argument and all of these things, but he needs to fix up. His contract is running up. He's played well enough to, you know, in talk of giving him a handsome extension of that, but you can find yourself not at this club because Arteta needs to make his mark. Arteta's not accepting it from someone like Ozil if Ozil was misbehaving and other players. So why is he going to take it from you, Guendouzi? You've done good things since you've been at Arsenal. Do not ruin it. You're a young man. I think it's testament to your ability that people forget how young you are. Yes, he's young. He's played enough games and he's old enough to improve purely on the football stage, but he needs to rein it in. And especially if I'm hearing you're carrying on with this foolishness in Dubai, which is a chance to, we're quite a close bunch of players, it's a chance for Arteta and the coaching staff to not only do a little mini pre-season and improve us tactically, but that camaraderie, that togetherness, that, you know, because you're going out to dinner with everyone, everyone's got their families and things like that. Guendouzi obviously is young and he makes mistakes, but you need to fix up and rein it in, because it's not fucking on. Forgive me for my language, especially if he did carry on like that in Dubai. You don't know me, I defend Guendouzi until I'm blue in the face, and if you never checked, I'm black, so we'll be here a long time, you get the point. But It's not on. It's not on. It's not on. Arteta needs to make his mark. Any bad eggs need to come out of the side. And again, it might be exaggerated by the Daily Mail and Sammy Mockbell and all these people talking about it, because it could just be maybe it's not attitude in terms of bust up. Maybe he's not applying himself to the level he can, because you have seen him say that about Ceballos previously. Now, I'm not going to get too ahead of myself based on one game. Ceballos is kind of dominated in that he's been reintegrated against Newcastle, but it got the reaction from him. So maybe a bit of that is to spark something with Guendouzi, because he's shown he's got the ability to to be one of the first names on the team sheet, but he's out the team. Obviously, there's Torreira, Ceballos based on last games ahead of him now. Xhaka, it seems everybody's a partner for Xhaka, so he's the first name on the team sheet. Arteta's bigged up Guendouzi before, so maybe he's trying to spark some sort of reaction in him. Maybe this never happened. Also, I don't necessarily mind bust-ups and managers and players hammering each other, you know, as long as there's balance, to which this isn't that. I'm just making a general point on things, people. He needs to rein it in, car. You need to think about it. You deserve to not be in the matchday squad in any capacity if it was true, and now you face a fight to get your future back on track. You need to rein it in a bit and control yourself, people. Apparently, like I said, during the winter break, there was question mark. Apparently, sources claim Gunner's boss was unhappy with Guendouzi's attitude during the club's winter break training camp in Dubai, and his withdrawal from the matchday squad for the game against Steve Bruce's men was the end result. And going on from that, Arteta more or less said, the reason is that players who, in my opinion, are training better, behaving better, and are more applied to deliver on the pitch what we want are the players selected. So it might not be, you know, he's just mad attitude, giving attitude problems, behaving the sort of way. It could be a bit of complacency, and he wants to spark that friction in Guendouzi, in that, okay, you're at Arsenal, you're a regular, and your rotation stuff. Get that complacency out of your team. I want you to be better than you can believe you are, sort of thing. I don't believe you're pushing yourself enough. And it had an effect with Ceballos. Ceballos at one point, he started bitching, carrying on in a sort of way, and then he got on with it. And, you know, apparently he's been training better, training like an animal, which Arteta has said, which doesn't appear to always been the case. And he played on Sunday like someone that wants to take advantage of their opportunity. And hopefully it has that spark on Guendouzi, if it is that, because there is some ability in the man. Since he signed for Arsenal, only 3 players have played more times in the Premier League than him, and it's 3 players you'd expect to. It's Leno who is extremely consistent, and I know I owe a personal apology to Leno as well, because he's convinced me. Torreira, obvious reasons. Torreira's not there, it's not really a party. Torreira's the one for me. I'm kind of scared when he's not in the team. And obviously you've got Aubameyang. Aubameyang's played 59 times, Leno 57 I believe, and Torreira 56, and Guendouzi's got 54. Of course he's tried and untested, he's got a lot of areas to improve, and he is a bit annoying at times, but I'm a big fan of Guendouzi. But what I'm not a big fan of is people not forgetting for a second the opportunity they're at, forgetting how we are as a team, because everybody's place is up for grabs. If you're not Torreira, Leno, Aubameyang, within fair reason, a couple man have been playing well, your place is up for grabs. We know Aubameyang's contract situation, but nobody's assured a place. No, we're not going to get rid of 20 plus man, but people need to realise they're playing for their futures again. You're not playing under Emery, where you might have been able to carry on with foolishness, and and you was always playing rightly or wrongly to get it. So you need to fix up. I'm a big fan of Guendouzi, and you know me already. I always stick up for him and defend these sort of people, but I have to keep things fair, people. It's common knowledge, allegedly, that Arteta is not afraid to be blunt, and he and his coaching staff were unimpressed with Guendouzi's attitude and body language in Dubai, leading to an angry exchange. The 20-year-old is understood to have clashed with Arteta on the training pitch before the argument continued at the team hotel later that evening. Now, arguments happen, and the club, I guarantee the players would have told him, yo, fix up Guendouzi, pattern yourself in it, because he does behave like he's got a bit of ADHD. But Arteta, what you don't want is Arteta can't. I don't think any of the players, regardless of this, will lose trust in Arteta and whatnot. But you need man management is key in football. If a young, not untested, but for want of better phrases, young untested 20-year-old can carry on with foolishness, what would that tell the others? And that was something Emery went wrong. So you don't want to get nipped in the bud, and regardless of your ability, potential, get rid of you. Because as much as I love you, if we was to sign a Szoboszlai and a composing defensive mid, I love Guendouzi and I think he'd be a great player, but if you could get 20-30 million and do what I've just said, it is what it is. So fix the fuck up, Guendouzi. Apologies for my language, but I love that guy, you know. You don't know him, I'm a big fan of him. I'm always supporting him. And I don't defend the indefendable sort of thing. I can't defend this if it is true. Regardless if it's carrying on a sort of way, regardless if it's body language, whatever. For me, I think it's a bit of negative body language. I think it's a thing of not necessarily applying yourself, being a bit complacent, doing the bare minimum. That's what it sounds like. Excluding the angry exchange. He has no excuse for that. If he needs to be fined, he should be fined. Discipline, sit out the team and work your way back into the team. Cause there's many man, myself, you lot listening, that would have killed to be in this position. We ain't got the ability like you. Would have killed to be in the position. I can't run for 90 minutes, but I'll give it my all. I would bust my arse in training, just even be in the match day squad, people, for Arsenal. So when I'm hearing foolishness like this, it's not on. It's not on. And especially with around these young players, because you were hearing they were kind of acting, not him, but kind of acting foolish under Emery. People need to realise the opportunity they have. You have the ability, Guendouzi. Apply yourself. Fight for it. You've got it. You hold your L now. You go again. If this was other players might face heat. So I have to give you the same criticism, people. It is what it is in that regards, people. It really is what it is. In relation to what Arteta said about Ceballos, he said he had some issues as well. The way he played, the way he behaved, he's changed his behaviours. He started to train like an animal, and he was ready to play. And he's given some comments in relation to Ceballos. Listen to his comments about Ceballos, how he's applying himself in training before he got this start and after. And that might be what he wants to see from Matteo, people. So we'll have to see, people. But he needs to fix up. He really needs to fix up. A couple of irrelevant things, but well, not really irrelevant, but irrelevant. Between Lucas Torreira's header, which started the move for Ozil's goal, and the finish which ended it, there was 35 uninterrupted passes, the most of any goal by any Premier League side. And you know what? We've had problems with our creativity, with our attacking sort of play all season, as you know. But when I look at that, and when I look at I can't remember the game, people, but I think David Luiz started it. Torreira might have been involved, but I definitely remember Luiz, Ozil. I think Lacazette played in Aubameyang and he got the finish. It was away from home. It was that 18-19 pass move. When I see goals like that and hear things like the Ozil goal, and even to a degree Pepe's goal, it gives me hope in regards to what I want to see next season. We've still got to improve defensively, but we're defending a bit better. But now our problem, on top of defending, because it's still a problem, seems to be creating chances and putting it back in the net. We show little dribs and drabs, but there's still a lot of work. But them things there gives me confidence, people. Like I said, that was the most passes leading to an Arsenal goal this season already. But yeah. Three of the most Arsenal goals passes that led to a goal this season have come under Arteta. Now, obviously, there's been different managers. Ljungberg's played less games, managed less games, so he probably won't be up there in terms of having more chances to be up there. But you look at Emery, how many games he had this season. Already, people, Emery's only there once. Our 20-pass move against Watford for Aubameyang to score, which was a good goal. But 3 have come under Arteta. The 22-man pass against Bournemouth, the 35 obviously for Ozil's against Newcastle, and the 19, it was 19 for Aubameyang's versus Palace. That might be the goal I'm referring to where he finished that. I could be wrong, people. It is what it is. In relation to kilometres ran, application is there because only Xhaka ran more. Xhaka ran 10.8 kilometres against Newcastle, and Ozil ran at 10.7. So only Xhaka ran more than him. Again, it all depends what running is, but it just shows you perception and reality. And I'm not necessarily Ozil. I do think this working hard and application and running for the sake of it is very much an English culture. And you look at European attitudes on it, especially even some in the Arsenal team, even Arteta to a degree, because when I'm at the Emirates, he wants us to press, but sometimes he even tells man, stay, why are you pressing? Relax yourself. We press certain areas. There's no point pressing and running around and just distributing your energy levels all around for the sake of it, people. And I do think that's a continental issue, both on how Europeans look at it and other people and us, really, and we've got a lot to learn in that regard. In terms of goal involvements this season, and it's testament to 2 young teenagers in Bukayo Saka and Martinelli, top people for goal involvements. I assume this is all goals and assists, because Saka's got, I believe, 8 assists in all comps, and I assume this in totals his goals, but he's got 11. He's been involved in 11 goals. Lacazette's been involved in 9. Pepe's been involved in 13. In fact, Pepe has 5 assists in the Premier League this season, which is more than any Arsenal player. We should have a lot more than that, but it shows you it's not all that bad. Martinelli's been involved in 13 goals and Aubameyang's been involved in 18. So Aubameyang's been involved in 18, Martinelli's been involved in 13, Pepe's been involved in 13, Saka 11 and Laka 9, and things like that, people. And obviously we've got a positive goal difference for the first time since November, so we can't really complain about much, people. So that's all I wanted to say. There's not really anything more to continue with. So on that note, I'm going to get out of here. As usual, it's always a pleasure speaking with you guys, but I'm out. DG.